For nearly 10 years, the war had devoured the shores of Troy. The plains outside the city were scarred with trenches, broken spears, and the bones of men whose names would never be sung. Ships rotted along the beach. Armor lay abandoned where warriors had fallen and never risen again. Both sides were exhausted beyond anger, beyond glory. Even hatred had grown tired. Yet Troy still stood. Its walls rose high and unbroken, kissed by the sun and guarded by fate itself. No ladder had ever breached them. No ram had shattered their gates. Each Greek assault ended the same way. Blood on the sand, arrows in the air, and Troy untouched. On the final morning, the Greek camp was silent. No war cries echoed across the shore. No shields clashed. Only the low murmur of waves and the creak of wooden beams disturbed the air. The warriors gathered, hollow-eyed and grim, waiting for words that might save them or send them home in shame. It was then that Odysseus spoke. He did not shout. He did not boast. He simply stood among them, calm as a man already walking toward the victory. "We cannot break Troy by force," he said, "so we will let Troy break itself." The idea spread like a spark through dry grass. A horse, massive, towering, built of pine and oak, would be constructed before the city gates. Hollow within, large enough to hide chosen warriors. The rest of the army would burn the camp, abandon the shore, and sail away as if defeated at last. The horse would be left behind. A gift. The Greeks worked in silence, carving wood by torchlight. Each strike of the chisel carried risk. If the Trojans suspected even a hint of trickery, the plan would end in slaughter. But dawn rose, and the horse stood complete. An impossible thing, beautiful and ominous, its flanks polished smooth, its head lifted as if listening to the gods. When the Trojans looked down from their walls, they saw emptiness. The Greek ships were gone, smoke drifted where tents had stood. Weapons lay abandoned, and before the gates stood the horse, larger than any siege tower, its shadow stretching across the plain. Confusion rippled through Troy. Some believed it was an offering to the gods, a plea for safe passage home. Others argued it was a trap. Soldiers circled it cautiously, spears raised, eyes searching for seams in the wood. Then Sinon was brought forward. He was bruised, trembling, bound by rope, an abandoned Greek, or so it seemed. Between tears, he told them a story crafted sharper than any blade. The Greeks, he said, had built the horse for Athena, hoping to appease her after years of bloodshed. It was made so large only to prevent the Trojans from dragging it into their city. Should Troy bring it inside, Athena's favor would shift. The lie was elegant, the kind only a desperate people want to believe. Laocoon did not believe it. He stepped forward, anger burning in his voice. "What madness is this?" he cried. "Do you think the Greeks capable of honesty? Whether gift or weapon, I fear this horse." He hurled his spear. It struck the horse's flank and quivered there, the sound echoing like a hollow breath. For a moment, silence fell. A single question hung in the air. What if something answered from within? Nothing did. Relief washed over the crowd. Then the sea stirred. Two massive serpents rose from the waves, scales glistening, eyes unblinking. They moved with terrible purpose, slithering across the shore toward Laocoon and his sons. Before anyone could act, they were wrapped in coils and crushed, their screams swallowed by the sky. The serpents vanished into Athena's temple. The omen was clear. The gods had spoken. The horse was dragged through Troy's gates as the sun dipped low. Wheels creaked beneath its weight. Children laughed. Wine was poured. That night, Troy celebrated the end of a war it believed it had survived. Inside the horse, the Greeks waited. The air was thick and stale, knees pressed against shields. Sweat ran cold down spines. No one spoke. Every sound, the laughter outside, the crackle of torches, the groan of the horse settling, felt like thunder. Time stretched thin. When night deepened and the city slept, Sinon returned. He slipped to the horse and loosened the hidden latch. One by one, the warriors descended into Troy, blades in hand, feet silent against stone. Odysseus was among them. He did not look back. The gates were opened from within. Torches flared along the walls, and from the dark sea, Greek ships returned like ghosts, oars cutting water without sound. The slaughter began before Troy could wake. Houses burned. Steel rang against steel. Sleepy guards fell without knowing why they were dying. Mothers ran clutching children. Priests begged gods who did not answer. By dawn, Troy was a ruin. Flames licked the sky. Towers collapsed. Blood filled the streets where festivals had danced only hours before. Those who survived would carry the memory forever. The night their city trusted a lie shaped like a gift. At the highest point of the ruined city, Odysseus paused. Victory did not taste sweet. It tasted heavy. He had won a war with cunning, not courage, with patience, not honor. And though bards would praise the brilliance of the plan, Troy would burn just the same. The horse stood blackened by fire, empty once more, a monument to the truth that walls cannot defend against deception, and that the greatest victories often leave the deepest scars.